My dear student, class 12. Now today I am going to discuss the second part of the Poetry of Art written by John Keats. I think you have completed the first octave part on last day. Now today I am going to discuss about the last part, and that is sestet. So a sonnet has two parts, you know very well, octave and sestet. So octave part actually given you the normal sense and description, and last part actually provide you the comparison or internal sense of the poetry. Now today I am going to start with that poetry of art ceasing never. On a lone winter evening when the frost he wrought a silence from the stove their shrills, the cricket song in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. That's all the poetry of art. And the first line actually provide you the original story of this poetry, the poetry of art ceasing never. The sestet part of this poetry informs us about the breaks of nature. As like the musician in time of changing the tune takes the breaks and give us melody and inform us about the continuations of music, similarly here the nature has done. So it is quite clear to us that nature always takes continuation. There have no negative words, not, no, never. No words actually used here for negatives. There is always positive and continuations here. So the poetry of art is ceasing never. কখনোই কিন্তু শেষ হয়ে যায় না. The continuation of the poetry, the continuation of the rhythm, never been ceased. শেষ হয়ে যায় না. Never been stopped. So here never actually stands, actually denotes us the continuity of natural music, whether it is summer or winter or frost or whatever the situations. Means nature never follows the negatives in his life. On a lone winter evening when the frost has wrought a silence from the stoves, their shrills, the cricket song in warmth increasing ever. Now, these lines actually provide you that in the chill winter, frosty winter, when everything total silent, everyone is alienated, all are actually finding a little bit warmth and they are rounding and rounding just to find a place. In that circumstances, has wrought a silence. Everywhere there is a formed situation. Wrought, actually formed, গঠিত হয়ে যায়, a silent situations, a silent environment. On the meantime, from the stove, the shrills, the cricket songs. From the stove, the shrills. Here, stove actually a components, the apparatus for firing, for making fire. It's a small apparatus, close heating apparatus inside the room. But it describes the different things. As the summer goes away, as the summer departs away from us, what happens? The winter steps in, the winter enters in our life. And what happens on that time? Nature permits no void, no alonity. Nature never use any kinds of alonity here and there. What does it do? It's actually stove or symbolically used to inform us about the heat. Once we are feeling alone on that time of just the last portion of the summer and entry of the winter. But the use of long term of the stove that thrills the cricket song that actually makes us that yes, someone is there. The cricket is there, though the grasshopper is tired, bird is tired, but on that time, the cricket is a continuation, make the continuation of the song. Whether it is the house cricket or the field cricket, everyone's come and makes the continuations what actually started by the grasshopper. So it is the natural things. If you compare it in our daily life, you will also see that nobody is indispensable in this earth. If anybody would think that I am the indispensable, if I am the powerful one, and if I am not there, the work will not be completed. It's never be possible. Someone is ready to make the continuations of the nature. The cricket song in warmth increasing ever. Though it is natural and the winter is coming everywhere, there is a frost, alonity is covered everywhere, but the warmth is there with the song of the cricket, as like the stove giving you some heating inside the room. And here ever actually provide you the positiveness. Means it's a flow of the continuation. The poet uses it's actually the opposite sense of never and ever. It is quite sure the cricket's buzz, the cricket sounds actually increases the warmth and informs the whole peoples that yes, I am there. That means it's also provides us a different ideology. That it seems to warn and drowsiness have lost. Means it's actually the crickets makes the song just beside the stove to remind us that the domestic music. And after hearing this, the peoples are actually falling asleep, falling actually half consciousness, that drowsiness, half consciousness, sleepiness, half lost, অর্ধ চেতন, অর্ধ নিদ্রিত মনে হয় তাকে। And the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. On that time, maybe the grasshoppers actually takes the rest in the grassy hills. And the song is continuing. It's never been, stopped. In that some circumstances, drowsiness, that ardho chetan avastha, the poet John Keats actually sees the daydream, or you can say reverie, reality. And the state of mind actually the poet wants to inform us the illusion in our life. whether we are in the right track of life or not. So it is quite clear at the end, if the grasshopper actually is starting in the scorching heat of summer without any complementary, similarly the crickets actually ready to echoing properly in the winter. So whatever is the situation, nothing is to be stopped in this earth, and nothing is to be controlled by anyone. It's a rhythmic process of the earth, and it would be continue. So that's all, my dear friend. I've given the sestet part, and that I have tried my level best to provide you this word notes. You just write down the summary. And now I am giving a few questions. Single sentence questions. You just try to write down this one. When does the cricket song? When does the cricket song? Cricket কখন গানটা গায়? Who takes charge of the song in the winter? Who takes charge of the song in the winter? Who is lost in drowsiness in Keats' sonnet, The Poetry of Earth? Who is lost in drowsiness in Keats' sonnet, The Poetry of Earth? আরেকটা লেখো, where does the person lost in drowsiness think the grasshopper to be? Where does the person lost, কোথায় অর্ধ ঘুমায়িত অবস্থায় নিদ্রাচ্ছন্ন অবস্থায় থাকে এবং সে কি মনে করে, think the grasshopper to be? In drowsiness, think the grasshopper to be. Where does the person lost in drowsiness think the grasshopper to be? এই প্রশ্নগুলো একটু করে রাখবে। আমি কিন্তু এখন চালিয়ে যাচ্ছি দুটো পোয়েট্রি, দুটো প্রোজ এবং ড্রামা, এটাকে কমপ্লিট করব। তারপর আমি সিরিজে তোমাদেরকে কোশ্চেন আনসার কিন্তু ডিসকাস করে করে যাব, and I will discuss all about how easy to remember the question and answer. Thank you very much for watching this part 2 of The Poetry of Earth, written by Keats. Thank you very much for watching.